What's going on, family? What's going on? It's your girl, Monica Seckmack Grant, and we are here with another mentorship call. Hope you all are well and safe out there, wherever you are in the world. Today, we're broadcasting live in New York City, and we're going all the way out to Nigeria to speak to a sister named Jamila Idris. And I'm going to read you a little bit about her. She's a founder, trainer, consultant, emotional intelligence, and communication expert, and she is the executive director of the Henan Initiative for Women and Youth. So today we want to speak to her about the work that she's doing out in Nigeria and just figure out, how do we become better activists, better humanitarians, and how do we serve each other better? So Jamila, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. Good evening. It's evening here in Nigeria.
Good evening. Thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the work you're doing as executive director.
Ah, a lot.
I can imagine.
It's a lot. The organization is focused on climate change as it affects women and youth.
Hmm.
So everything we're doing is in relation to climate change, but then we're focusing primarily on water sanitation, and hygiene. So we carry out interventions that cater for the needs of women and youth in the community, and we've done a number of activities. We've done some cleanup activities in the communities. We've done health awareness campaigns. We've given out palliatives even during COVID. We've given out hygiene kits to women and also young girls who are of the menstrual age. From most of them were between the ages of 12 to even 45. So we had a lot of people who have benefited, a lot of organizations, sorry, a lot of communities rather who have benefited from most of our interventions. And my role as the executive director is all encompassing because I have to do PR, I have to do communications, I have to do everything. And even when I give out some tasks, I still need to oversee all of those tasks. So it is something that I sometimes I wonder how I do it, but then I feel it's more about my passion because even people around me wonder how I do it because I have another business I run, which is for coaching, consulting. That's the training, consulting, and
Hmm.
coaching part. So that is what I actually use to fund the non-profit because we just started not too long ago. So I'm focused on building the portfolio of the organization to a certain level before we start applying for grants. But then we still have well wishers who decide to make some donations and all of that. So it's more of me working on the non-profit as well, also working on my business so that we can provide a lot make yes provide a lot of impact in the communities for people who are less privileged.
So I have a lot of questions for you. And I can relate to you because I have a media company and then I have a media education nonprofit. And the media company at first funds the nonprofit. But during this quarantine, there's been an increase in the desire and the need for media education. And so now we're pulling on the nonprofit to get more grants and more funding because there is now a demand for media education in just the times that we're living in. So I can
Yeah.
understand that. So tell us a little bit about your business as well and the work that you're doing.
Okay, so for my business, I help female leaders express their uniqueness effortlessly while managing their emotions for better relationships and holistic wellness. So
Mm.
it's more about I have this vision to help women in Nigeria start, run, and scale Fortune 500 businesses, most especially from the comfort of their homes, because we have a lot of in Nigeria here we still battle with gender equality. In fact, we don't even ask for equality. We're not even asking for equality. We're not even asking for the percentage of women or girls who get educated, like formally educated, is very low. And then we have a
Mhm.
lot of early marriages. And then we have also the problem of women who just sit at home and their husbands don't allow them to work. I know things like that. So what we are trying to do is to help them, you know, start something in, like, that's the vision of, the organization, to help them start something from the comfort of their homes and scale it, even if they don't, their husbands don't allow them to go out. So I have worked with a number of people, especially women, to train them on communication, those basic things they need for their businesses, and for them to have enjoy a holistic wellness, because we also believe that it's only with wellness that you can go on to make money. So if a woman
I
is
agree.
not, okay, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, all of that, she won't be in a good space to even make money. So we are taking care of all of those parts, so that she can even become more creative, to know, okay, now I need to start making money. And a lot of women suffer abuse as well in this part of the country, because they don't have money they can spend on their own.
Mhm.
They don't have that financial independence, so they have to depend on their husbands. And then they have children and all of that. So even when they're experiencing abuse, they can't leave because they don't even have money. They don't know where to go to. They don't know how to start. And the men purposely do that because they want to have a lot of control over the women. And they make her feel she can't work, she can only do as good as they think she can do, and things like that. So it's really a serious mind work, helping women get out of, undo all of those programmings that they've gotten from society, from childhood, and all of that. And also, a very huge part of what we do is therapy, because we
Mm.
believe that as adults we are living, most of us are living our childhood trauma, and it's coming to haunt us today. A lot of people have bad relationship with money or wealth or success because of what happened to their parents, or what they saw
That's
happen
right.
to people around them. So it just makes them feel money is bad, or success is bad, or success is not for women. I know things like that. So we have to dig deep. And it's really a lot, because it's like you're fighting an invisible war. And then, because it's not like all of those other businesses where you say, I'll help you make x amount of money in x amount of time, and then they see it immediately. And this is very intangible. And I
It's
believe it's
not real.
also like the foundation of even becoming successful, because we have a lot of people today who get successful, like monetary success, but then the other side, the other parts of their life suck. They don't have a good relationship with themselves, a good relationship with the people around them, and all of that. And then at the end of the day, that success that they think they have becomes a curse. Let me put it that way, because
Mhm.
it's just like it's leading to their doom. They become addicted to drugs, or a lot of other things. So what we're doing is to help women be successful, not just the standard success, the wealth success and all of that. No, for them to feel successful, for them to be happy in their own space, for them to have amazing relationships, for them to be physically fit. And you don't want a situation where you have money and you're going to the hospital for treatments and all of that. So we want them to be successful, like
Whole.
holistically. Yes, whole.
Yeah. That's the goal. And so it's almost like I'm looking at myself because that's the same speech that I give about entrepreneurship. I think when I was coming up, you saw a lot of people in our community that just couldn't get jobs and how money
Yes,
changes people, But then when you look at YouTube and you see make $100,000 in a week, and people are jumping out of Lamborghinis and big homes, and it's like that doesn't match my reality. And money does not solve the issues, like you said, the childhood trauma. And so
yes,
when I speak about entrepreneurship, I tell everyone you got to get in the mirror and deal with yourself. You have to forgive the people that abuse you. You got to forgive yourself. You have to break down everything that you've been covering up. You cannot fly over those issues to success. You got to drive up to them, deal with them, look them straight in the face, and really work through them. And then once you release that, that's when you can start talking about our real success. Because you can't build a relationship if you don't even love yourself. How can you
true,
trust somebody else if you don't trust yourself? And so how
true.
can you think long term when your diet is not saying that you're going to be here long term. You know, so I'm with you 100%, and I think it's so great that that you're doing this work and that it's happening in Nigeria right now, because a lot of times we don't know what's happening on the other side of the world, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you being clear about what women are experiencing in Nigeria right now. Can you just go a little deeper into that? Like, what is it like to be a woman in Nigeria? And of course, there's outliers, right? There's always going to be
Right.
somebody that has it great and is not struggling and is not oppressed and is not going through things. But to on average, what is it like to be a woman in Nigeria right now?
To be a woman in Nigeria right now is it's either you are submissive or you are a fighter.
Okay.
So we have some people who feel, well, a woman should be XYZ. You have to stay at home. Your job is to be in the house to cater for the children. You just give birth, you cook, you nurture, and that is it. That is all your life is about. And then we have people who are like, okay, I feel there is more. Even before we get to those people who feel there should be more, we have also the other women who are working, right? People who
Mhm.
are out there working, and they feel okay because they grew up to see that their mothers were stay-at-home moms, and they didn't live a fulfilled life, and they had all of those problems in their marriages. They felt getting a job or starting a business will be the best for them. And they're doing it to prove a point. Even though
Mhm.
there are some people who actually enjoy their careers, but then I see a lot of women do a lot of things for the wrong reasons. I I have a lot of women, right, who may look like they are doing well because probably they're making like seven figures or even eight figures, and they are married with kids, but then their life is a living hell. They can't look at themselves in the mirror.
Mhm.
And it's more about the um, community or societal programming. It's there is this thing that a lot of people keep saying, you can't have it all, you know, and they make a woman feel if you have to be successful in your career,
You have to
then you're
choose.
going to suck at home or
Right.
you're going to have a terrible health.
Right.
So it's now like more like you have to choose your battle. So every day women in Nigeria are faced with one prejudice or the other. You know, whatever it is that happens, even when it comes down to driving on the road, when
Mhm.
somebody is driving badly, it's like that's a woman. So it's like women, I feel it's more like an African thing, but I'm also getting to understand even the whites have it. People see women as um those second class citizens. They don't have a say in making things work. So right now we are having a number of women demanding for things to be different. And people who feel no, we can actually have it all. It's more about, having a partner who understands you and, we're willing to work a partnership in your relationship and not just like a master slave kind of relationship.
Mhm.
So it's like every day you are faced with one thing or the other. You either go to an establishment to, ask for, probably you're submitting a proposal for a job or something, and no matter how good or qualified you are as a woman to handle that project, some people just feel because you're a woman they won't even award that project to you, and they'll award it to a man who isn't even as qualified. Or you have women who don't get promoted because they are women and they
Mhm.
feel they won't be able to do all of that. So it's crazy because we have a lot of two extremes. Women who are all out there trying to succeed against all odds, and women who are just in the houses and feeling very helpless and all of that. So even with these two extremes, there are still exceptions. There are still women who are doing well in their careers and are enjoying it, and there are still women who are sitting at home and they're enjoying it. But then in the middle are the outliners, people who are like, no, I am going to demand for this and I am going to be happy doing it. I'm going to go all 9 years and I'm going to be very happy doing it all the way. And Those ones are seen as strange by these two extremes. Like, come on, don't kid yourself. Like, it's either you're good at this or you're good at that. You have to give up something. And
Right.
I feel it's because over time we've gotten this programming or this conditioning that um it's okay to suffer.
Right.
People have glorified suffering, and then when you get things very easy, they're like, no, it's not going to last. And then it's like when people see people happy, they're like, let's say you just got married and you're happy, you'll tell you, "Oh, it's just for some time, it's going to face off, this is just the honeymoon stage." So we have people who have a lot of baggages, a lot of insecurities.
I'm with you. I'm
Can
with
you
you.
hear
I
me?
was just, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you.
We have a lot of people who have a lot of baggages, a lot of insecurities, a lot of pain they're yet to heal from, a lot of trauma, and then they go on to project all of those insecurities, pain, trauma on other people. That way, breaking those people and making their own realities, forcing their own realities on other people, forgetting that we are all creators of our lives. We have the power to change our lives completely. And when we feel like life happens to us, we don't really do what we're supposed to do. So while some people would see those outliners as crazy, but then they are it's amazing that the numbers are increasing. We are having more and more women who feel I can have it all, and
Hmm.
who feel okay, I can strike a balance between my career and my business, or my family and every other thing that I do. So we are really having an improvement, but then majorly it's more about anything that is not really working well. It's going to be the woman's fault. Even when the marriage isn't working or the relationship isn't working, it's the woman's fault. Whatever it is she did.
No, no, I agree, and that happens here in America. I think we have just a little difference as far as what happened in America with slavery and Jim Crow and the direct attack on our families. But across the planet, across the existence of there being a black woman, we have always been leaders. We always know, like, when it's time to eat, we will find the food. We will make sure that our families are taken care of. It's naturally ingrained in us to do what needs to be done. And maybe I can't speak for a man, but maybe that doesn't exist for all of them. And so there is that, like, that intimidation. But and I can say, as a woman in America, I do a lot, and I would love for somebody to take the load off of me. But if you choose not to, I'm still going to do that work because it has to be done.
Yeah.
So if you're intimidated because I'm doing the work, I really want you to help, but you can't come wanting me to be lesser than, because we're going to show up and do the work. And one thing I know is that anywhere where there's another black woman, another African woman, whether we speak the same language, we can communicate. I don't
Absolutely.
I don't care if you speak French, if you speak Yoruba, if you speak another language, we can speak, eye to eye body language and figure things out. And so that's how
Yeah.
I know it's like black women. We truly, this is our earth, you know. And we love our men, but the men got to stop, being so sensitive about who we are, because we want them around, we want them here, but we're going
Yes.
to do this work.
That is why I always say women have no idea the power they have inside of them. But sadly, a lot of men see the power women have, so they try to subdue them before they even recognize those powers, because they know they can't match up. And that's my, sentiment when it comes to feminism. And when people are like, they want equal rights with men and things, I'm like, no, men are not even are not our equals. Like,
Yes.
they're not our equals, because it's not a thing of superiority. But then, even though men are stronger, women have more depth. Women have the ability to get things done better than men. Women are born doers, right? When a
Boy.
woman wants to do something, she does it to the best. Like, there is no neither here nor there for a woman. She does it, and she does it perfectly. Every woman has that habit of excellence, that
Hmm.
value. Even though some people don't take it as their value, for me, one huge value I don't play with is excellence. And a lot of women have this. right? So when these men see and know that, wait, when these women know how powerful they are, they won't even need us. So we need to, suppress them. We need to oppress
Right.
them. We need to make them feel less than they really are. Then that's where the problem is. Because
Mm-hmm.
the truth is, when you get to support women, oh my God, they become very loyal to you.
Yes.
When you support a woman, she becomes loyal. But the
Yes.
men think it is more about suppressing them. But and the thing is, I have seen women who are excelling, and they have the support of their husbands. They are doing amazingly well, and their husbands are also happy because they're doing well outside and they're also doing well in the home front. But then the ones who feel they need to prove a point because maybe their husbands don't believe in them, they get to struggle. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they need to prove a point. They need to show him they can do well regardless, with or without his support. So it's tiring on us because it's like you need to put in 10 times the work. But then when we all know our place, now when I was doing some research recently and I decided to read about the lion and the lioness, and it was amazing. Oh my
Tell
God.
me. Tell me.
So all the lion does is to lazy around and sit to protect his kingdom, or his family, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it is the lioness that hunts. The
Yep.
lioness is actually even faster than the lion. The lioness takes care of the family. But what the only thing the lion does is just lazy around and protect. And really, that is what men really are. Their strength is to protect, right?
Yeah.
They actually also should provide. But then we have a lot of men who feel because their women are working, they shouldn't provide for her.
Mm-hmm.
And that is totally wrong because even if she is the richest person in the world and you are average, you should still take care of her. And what they also don't understand is that when you take care of a woman, women are natural multipliers. Whatever you give to a
Yes.
woman, she turns it better. She makes
Yes.
it better. So imagine you're providing for her with the little you have. Imagine what that woman will do for you at the end of the day, even though she has a lot. But then when it looks like I'm not going to do for you because you have a lot to do, to take care of yourself, and in fact you should even take care of me, then she gets to start hodling some of her money. She doesn't
Mm-hmm.
want you to know she has some money, and then she gets to do things for other people, or she's investing and you don't even know. But then when you are more open to her, and you're supporting her, you're providing for her, and you're being a man, then there will be a balance in the relationship. She would show up where she needs to show up, and you will also because you're showing up where you need to show up. Whether the woman is earning all the money in this world, if her husband is showing up for her, she would be submissive naturally.
Yes.
She will be
Naturally.
submissive because she knows he is actually playing the role of a man. you
Mm-hmm.
know so a lot of strong women, I call them the alpha women, and
Yeah.
well, people like us who get things done.
Yes.
And it's like men feel threatened by people like us because they feel this person cannot be submissive and all of that. I'm like, well, that is where you get it wrong, because these women who get things done are actually the ones who need to be taken care of, because they're out there fighting and getting things done and all of that. So at the end of the day, they want someone to rub their feet, they want someone to massage their backs and like tell them well done. But then when you don't have someone who is doing that, it's like you're all stressed out outside, and then you still have to come and fight,
Mm-hmm.
argue, and things like that. So it doesn't even help you as the person. But people who are the most loving are women who get things done,
That's right.
because they are getting things done because of their high sense of empathy for
Mm.
things that are not going right around them, and they're trying so hard to fix a lot of things. So those are the people who are easiest to to love or to take care of. But then because they have we most of us have this very strong outlook, and then men feel she wouldn't need me. You're wrong, because she would need you. In fact, she needs you more than the other woman would need you.
Right. To cut you off, but we need you in a different way. So like,
Exactly.
and so I'm an alpha woman, right? And so there's plenty of things that I can do for myself, and I enjoy it. I enjoy being a doer. I enjoy doing that part. But I don't necessarily need you for like I want you to provide, but I don't necessarily need you to uh to worry about everything that I have going on in my life. But I do need like I don't want to argue. I want to have fun. I want to relax. I want to chill. Like I need those kind words, those loving words. But like I need that. I don't need you to every moment of the day. Like that does nothing. And a lot of times you're gonna do it wrong. So it's
Of
like
course.
move out the way, please. Let me do this, and you do whatever it is that you do. Build your business, build your company, and then treat me right. I think like for me, that's what's most important to me. I don't need you to flex your money or flex what you think other women desire. Just treat me right. And I'll give you an example. So before the quarantine, we have a studio downtown Manhattan on 59th Street. And every day I'm going back and forth to the studio. I'm getting on the train, beating people up in traffic, holding on to the bar. It's just a lot of work and it's aggressive, and then I get to the studio, there's work to be done. I'm directing people. There's a lot of work, and so that energy brings out the aggression and the masculinity, right? So
Yes.
since the lockdown, I have, I've been at home, I've been in my community, just working from the laptop, and my femininity has come out so much. And I,
Yes.
and it's like really, it's like I needed a break. I needed a
Yes.
break. I needed some help. And so, thank you, Corona. I'm sorry about everything else it's caused, but for me, it's really allowed my feminine nature to come out. And it's like, Corona is the husband that I need. It says, sit down, baby. I got you. Just work from home.
Yes.
Do your work from home. And that's what we need. I'm not going to stop working because I love this. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. But the support is still desired. And I'm not going to submit to anything other than a man. So if you're a punk, if you're a chump, if you got some of your own emotional issues,
You want a real man, a
right,
real man.
right, I'm not gonna submit to somebody got their own issues. It's like nah, boo, like, and we can recognize a real man immediately.
Of course.
So if I'm
Of
not
course.
submitting to you, it's just you ain't the one. It's just not happening.
But you see, another place where we get it wrong as alpha women
Hmm.
is carrying that masculine energy into our relationship. So
Yeah,
I have a package, a relationship package for alpha women because I feel most
that's
of us
dope.
don't have we're not in tune with our feminine side.
Hmm.
Often it's like we are always out there, we're trying to get things done, and then we are more in our masculine energy while we are at work. Now,
Hmm.
our ability to tune it down in our relationship is a game changer. You make mention about of wanting someone to do things for you, but then we actually don't even know when we do that. It's
Hmm.
just like you go out and he wants to open the door for you, and you're like, no, I can get the door myself. Like I can. But men love real men love to serve women,
Right.
right? So when it's amazing when you're with your man and you allow him do a lot of things for you. Like you need that spoiling, you need him to
Hmm.
spoil you. But because we are so used to doing a lot of things for ourselves, it feels strange, right? And everything is about energy. So when you give out that energy, a man who is very masculine will feel threatened because no man wants to date another man. So if you're giving off that masculine energy too often in your relationship, he feels like he's dating a fellow man like him. And
Hmm.
most times when we get those great men, those great relationships, somehow we end up screwing things up for a lot of women. Actually, I know there
Because
are
we're not
women
used to
who
it.
attest because we're not used to it. So if we can actually sit still, it's not easy. But then if we can sit still and allow men do things for us, no matter how crazy or how little we feel it is, it goes a long way because men want to feel needed. Men want to serve women. They
That's
don't.
right.
They want to carry your bags. Allow them. If
Take
they feel
it.
to,
Take it.
they should do it. But then often because of programming as well, we feel I don't want to look weak. I don't want to look like I don't want to look too needy and things like that. But no, it just makes you accommodative. It's like
Mhm.
you're allowing a man a space in your life.
Mhm.
Often it's more about when the man comes in, he feels she doesn't need me. She's getting her things done. She's going out there and achieving her goals and all of that, so she doesn't even need me. And it's even worse when you don't get to talk about your work with him, so he doesn't even know what you're doing. Maybe he just sees you going
Mm.
all over the place and he's wondering what on
Mm.
earth is she doing. And then sometimes he feels you're overworking yourself, and he's like, babe, just chill. And you're like, no, 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 I can't chill. I have a lot of work to do. I have a ton of work to do. And he's like, just calm down. You see, but then a lot of times, because we also it has a lot actually to do with our childhood and
Mhm.
things we experienced while growing up. We feel we've seen a lot of women get backlashed and not being successful and all of that, and we want to do it differently, so it pushes us to that extreme. But then there is always the middle. The middle is where you get to love yourself, where you get to heal completely, or not. Well, there's no absolute healing, but then you heal to a good degree that you don't feel threatened by all of
Mhm.
those things you have seen, heard, or things that have happened to you in the past, and you just allow yourself to be loved, and you're also
Yeah,
ready to give love. I always say that it is our innate nature as humans to be able to give and receive love. Every other thing is
I
built on
agree.
the foundation of love. So whatever it is, a lot of people are doing, no matter how difficult they are, no matter how crazy they are doing all of those things to seek love. It's just like when you have
Mm.
a deviant child, a child who is a delinquent. The child is doing all of that to gain the attention of his or her parents because they just feel the parents are not paying attention to them enough, right? And the moment they start getting that attention, they melt. They
Mhm.
melt. Even all those men who are all there, when they get the type of love they need, they melt. So
Yes.
for us alpha women, it's a game changer when we know how to tune down that masculinity and tune up the femininity, that we can flirt, we can seduce, and have a good relationship with men.
Yes, like it has a place. It definitely has a
Yes,
place. And I had to
yes,
recognize that I didn't want to be the single angry black woman for the rest of my life. Like I don't want that.
absolutely.
You
I love
know?
love.
Yeah, I love love. And I also had to recognize what I was looking for and what I wanted and to be
Yes,
clear on that so that when it does show up, it's like, aha, I've manifested this. Thank you, God. Um,
yes,
and so to really recognize that, because now it's just like, all right, when I'm with my partner, it's like, all right, do you do what you want, do what you want, and like, because I understand like that's what he needs, right? um
hmm,
but there definitely was a time where it's like masculinity everywhere. It's like this is not going to work because it's also not healthy for me. I'm a woman. Like I need to be feminine. My
of course.
feminine nature needs to have a place. It needs to come out. And so even if work is where I'm getting things done, there has to be a place just for my femininity to live and to grow and to
Hmm,
blossom. And then we can go back to what you're saying about being whole. I can't be whole if I'm super feminine, but I'm not able to do for myself, and I'm not able to, carry my ideas out or carry my goals out. So it's really about having that balance and knowing
yes,
yourself. I love what you're doing. I think this is so, 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 so great. So great. I
thank
get
you.
I get why we were introduced. I get it. This is so great. Yeah.
you know and
Go ahead.
I always say self-awareness is amazing, because people think you just get aware and that's all. I'm like, no, it's just like you learning a new skill. What do you
Hmm.
do with it? It now depends on what you do with it. Depends on now sorry, your success with that skill, or how much you master that skill, depends on how well you use it. So the more you the peak, it's not just self-awareness, it's self-mastery. So what
Mm-hmm.
do you do with the knowledge of self you have? There was a period I discovered I was that, because that is the time where there is less noise. That's the time where there is less noise. That's the time where the connection is very fast, and you feel you get to get a lot of work done. But then the flip side is I don't get to be very productive during the day because I have to sleep. I have to make up for all that sleep. And it was telling on me. I was becoming very stressed, and I was actually even going back to depression. Now, this is because there are some times where I have to, send some letters. I have to meet up with some people, and then you're working with people who are day people. So what do you do? Even though I became aware that I was a night person, but I had to reinvent myself. I had to
Mm-hmm.
work on myself so I can become a day person, so I can get things done, so I can feel fulfilled at the end of the day and feel, yes, I really showed up for myself today. And every day I am learning new things about myself. I am learning how to do things better. I'm learning how to show up for myself better. There are days where, especially when you're close to your monthly cycle, your monthly period, you just feel all terrible inside out. You can't
Mm-hmm.
even move. And I know that is the time I get to have a vacation. I need to rest.
Yep.
That's the time I get to go over my notes. I get to even watch maybe some courses and things like that. So for me, it's more about you knowing yourself, you knowing what
Yes.
works for you, and
Yes.
then if what works for you right now does not align with the person you want to become, then there is need for a reinvention.
Mm.
4 years ago, I did an exercise with someone, a trainer, and she asked us to write our obituary in third person,
Mm-hmm.
and it was scary. At first, I was like, "Oh my god, I don't think I can do this." Like, there's no way I'm writing my own obituary. Like, come on, how? But then that exercise changed my life because I wrote those amazing things. She was a very good person. She like whenever she got into the room, she lightened the room, and things like that. People were always happy around her, and I'm like, okay, I've written all of this down. What next? I'm
Yes.
still alive. It's for me to start living this life so that people can say all these things when I'm gone. And then I developed a mantra, and it was I was working towards anybody who came in contact with me would not live the same way, even if we met for as little as 5 minutes. And I became very conscious with doing that in such a way that even when I was what's it called, I was on transit, I was on even on a public transport, I get to strike a conversation with the next person, or when I hear people having a conversation, I contribute, and if it's if there is something I need to correct, I get to do that. And then months or weeks or even years down the line, someone's like, "Oh, Jamila," I'm like, "Sorry, who are you? I don't know you." Ah, the other day we had this conversation. I'm like, "Oh, really? I had
I
no
love
idea."
that.
So I was happy that I was beginning to live the kind of life I want to live,
Mm-hmm.
and it happened consciously because things like this don't just happen, and it wasn't easy. I had to visit a lot of dark places. I'm still going through a
Word.
lot of healing because I tell people healing are in stages. The healing that got you through, the first immediately after the incident, and like a year or few months after that is different.
Yeah.
To go 2 years or 3 years or 5 years after that, you need another level of healing. To go
That's
10 years
right.
after that, you need another level of healing. So
That's
you can
right.
imagine a lot of people who don't get healed, and they are relieving all those trauma. It feels like you're running on the same spot. A lot of people who are like, I don't want to have the type of relationship my parents had, but then you haven't even healed. And then every time you are attracted to men who father you, who are like your father. If your
Yep.
father was emotionally unavailable, you're attracting men who are emotionally unavailable. Those are the men
Mm-hmm.
who are attractive to you. Those are the men you feel you want, because you're yet to heal. So you don't even know there is another there are other. type of men to be attracted to, and it is just the type of energy you give out. We don't get what we want, we get who we are. So for us to begin to get
That's real. That's
differently,
real.
we need to work on ourselves. So when things are not working well in my life, I have to go back
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, what am I yet to heal from? What am I yet to heal from? Or if I'm noticing a pattern, I'm like, okay, why is this happening the way it's happening? What do I need to do? What am I still holding on to? Do I need another level of healing? Things like that. And those are questions that we are too scared to ask ourselves because we
Right.
don't want to go into those deep places. A lot of us
Right.
have this coping mechanism with trauma by we develop rather this coping mechanism with trauma by numbing our emotions, by trying
Mm-hmm.
to forget it. We just shift it to our subconscious mind. But then it doesn't mean that it's no longer in our mind. It
It's
doesn't mean that
worse.
we're not attracting it. It is still very available. In fact, our subconscious mind is 30,000 times more active than our conscious mind is.
Mm.
So sometimes when things are happening and you feel it's just by chance, no, it is your subconscious mind controlling your thoughts, controlling your actions, and you're getting the results you're getting. But a lot of people don't even know this. And I was actually I got scared. I was really afraid when I bumped into that research. I was like, it's not 3 times, it's not 30 times, it's not 3,000 times, 30,000 times. Like we're talking about moving faster than the speed of light. So a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
things that are happening, and then it began to make sense when you have a lot of these thought leaders who say we create our realities, we create our lives, and it
We
is
do.
true.
We do.
Going
We
back
do.
to the creation of man, God created us as co-creators. He said
Mm-hmm.
he created us in his likeness. It is there in the Quran, it is there in the Bible and other holy books. He created us in his likeness of creation. We have the ability to create. He inspires us to create. All these people who come up with amazing scientific discoveries and technologies and all of that, they are creating. That is we living in our elements, right, of creation. But then
Yes.
because a lot of us are too lazy, I say that a lot of humans are innate, just as much as we have that innate ability to love, we're also very very lazy. A lot of people are too
Mm-hmm.
lazy to you know do the hard work, and
Yes.
they enjoy suffering rather than doing the hard work.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when you do the hard work, there are
Yes.
two different things. It's one thing to suffer, it's one thing to do the hard work, because at the end of the day, you get rewarded for the hard work. But suffering, you just keep on suffering.
Mm-hmm. I
Right? You
wanna.
keep on.
We're hitting our hour mark soon, so
Yes.
we're gonna have to wrap up. So I'm preparing you, but I have
All right.
another question that I feel like it might be a little bulky, so I wanted to prepare you up front. I definitely understand the power of the subconscious mind, and I've been speaking into the mirror since I was like maybe 17. Just
Wow.
to boost my self esteem. And I've seen things manifest. I've seen things come to reality. Uh, and then when people ask me, so Monica, how are you doing this? And I tell them it's like boom, 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 and I can look in their eyes and see that it scares them, not because what I said was difficult. They just don't see themselves as being successful, and they have their own subconscious, trauma. And so that's when I realized that the issue in entrepreneurship isn't necessarily filing paperwork or doing deals. It's really the belief that people don't believe in themselves. It's in their head, yeah, and it's through their trauma that they have not dealt with. Um, so when we speak about the subconscious, and I definitely want to have you on other programming. I'm gonna give you that heads up now. I have.
Okay.
This is your platform, sis. You about to be on this. Let you know right now. I'm gonna hit you up immediately after this. Um,
All right.
when it comes to the subconscious, how does one start to really unpack the subconscious and to deal with trauma and deal with the things that are in their head versus because like we understand like okay you say affirmations but I feel like if you're saying affirmations without actually unpacking the subconscious and what's already there, you might just be packing, things on top of, what's still there, and you might just be given a confusing world. So how does one unpack their subconscious?
I did a series on my Instagram page on how people are doing affirmations wrongly. No matter
Mm.
the affirmations you make from today till when however long, even a zillion years from today, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe it can happen, if you don't believe you have the capacity to make it happen, it's not going to happen. You
Right.
manifested all those things because you saw through the eyes, you saw yourself through your own eyes and the lens of God, and knew, look, I may not have gotten to that level, but I am ready to put in the work.
Hmm.
Now, a lot of us don't get what we ask for because we don't have the capacity to handle it. So even though you're praying for something, you're making affirmations and all of that, you won't get it because you are not prepared to handle it. And one very basic step I always recommend is for us to journal. When
Hmm.
you journal, it helps you unpack, right?
Yes.
You're just putting it. I can't remember who said it, but he said it's like, you know um freeing mental space. You're freeing mental space. And when you read your words in your handwriting, it does something amazing to you. It's like, okay, so this when I go back to some things I wrote a few years ago, I'm like, wow, I wrote this. What was I thinking? And it's really amazing. So I'm amazing. I'm like, oh my god, so I'm really this good. So
Yes.
sometimes it's really about us, putting it down. I have countless journals. I have
Write it
quite
down
a
and make
few.
it plain.
Just write it down. Write it down. Keep writing
Yes.
it down. And one thing again is for us to be very mindful of the words we say to ourselves. A lot of us are very hard on ourselves.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
put high expectations on ourselves. We have this self-righteousness. It's like, I need to do this. People are looking up to me. Hello, nobody cares about you. It's all about you. It's
Yes.
true. If today
Yes.
you're not doing it, somebody else will do it. Somebody else will do it. If today you have a negative press, people will talk about it 2 3 max 3 months, 4 months.
Then it's
They
gone.
forget and they move on. they,
It's
they
gone.
focus on something else. So that is life. The problem is we think we're too important. Yes, we are
Mm.
important to ourselves, not to people. So
Right.
we need to prioritize ourselves. We need
Right.
to be more kind to ourselves. You
Right.
cannot. We often seek for things outside of us that are actually really inside of us. We want to find peace, we want to find love, we want to find acceptance. I know all of that, but then we don't get to accept ourselves. I get to look myself. I stand naked in front of the mirror, and I dance. I look at myself, I'm like, oh my god, I love it. I love everything I'm seeing, right?
Yes.
But a lot of people cannot do that. They don't love their bodies. They don't love
Hmm.
their face. They don't love how their hair is. You know, they see when they see themselves, when they look themselves in the mirror, they see everything gone wrong.
Right.
I had a client who told me I usually give the mirror exercise for you to look into the mirror, look yourself into your eyes through the mirror and say things. And she said she can't do it because she doesn't like what she sees in the mirror.
Mm.
So you can
Mm.
imagine, no matter what you say to that woman, no matter how much you make her feel good about herself, she would never feel good about herself because she hasn't accepted herself.
Right.
She's yet to accept herself.
Right.
So for me, I feel it's for us to start working on what we say to ourselves, for us to accept ourselves with the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the stupid decisions we make, the amazing decisions we make, and stop being hard on ourselves.
Very much.
When we learn to love ourselves, when we learn to love ourselves, people will begin to love us because we begin to exude um, energy, positive energy. We are exuding love, and then people gravitate towards positive energy. People gravitate towards happy people. So when you accept yourself, even if you're not putting on the best of clothes, even if your account balance isn't in the best of places yet, but then grateful for who you are right now.
Yes, be
You
grateful.
are grateful for all your scars. You are grateful for all the experiences you had to go through, because without those experiences, you wouldn't be where you are today. Yes, you may not have had an amazing childhood. Yes, there were things that would have happened differently. But then what you decide to do with your life from today is what matters. There is a popular saying, an Igbo adage that says whenever you wake up is your morning. Even if you wake up 10 p.m. in the night, that is your morning. So even
Hmm.
if you are 40 years or 50 years and you listen to this and you feel this is the time for me to, take charge of my life, now is your morning.
That's right.
Now is the time you need to start taking
That's
those
right.
decisions, those steps to
That's right.
accept yourself, to own your journey, to own your scars, and make it what you want to make of it. Do you want it to define you, or do you want to use it as a stepping stone into becoming the person you want to become, the person that God has created you to become? So it's more about we really, being kind to ourselves, being compassionate to ourselves, allowing ourselves rest, allowing ourselves heal. When we become compassionate, when we accept ourselves, okay, I need to heal so I can move forward. We know I need to rest so I can function well. I need to sleep well so I can function well. I need to exercise so I can be in shape. I need
Yes.
to put out this product so I can make more money. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to show up for loved ones. I know things like that. But then you can't do all of that if you are not showing up for yourself.
Yes. 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 Yeah. I'll tell you this. I'm I'm the woman. Even though I said that, I've been doing affirmations since I was 17, 18. Um, Years later, I'm now the woman that I always saw that I was. You know, even
Yes.
when I looked in the mirror and it didn't match, I knew who I was. I knew who my spirit was. I knew who God knew I was. And so now I finally feel like my body matches the woman that I always knew that I was.
And
And I am.
one very important thing is I tell women when we're going through, that process, I'm like, look back to when you were 3, 2, or maybe 4, before you're 5. Who did you want to become? What
Hmm.
did you enjoy doing then?
Hmm.
That is who you are.
Yeah.
From that time, you get to hear a lot of no's. You can't do this, you can't do that. Society expects you to do this, you're supposed to do that. It is our family culture to do XYZ, and you feel you need to start, fitting in. But a lot of times we are not meant to fit in. We are meant to stand up because we are all unique.
Hmm.
Even if we go through the same experience, you learn differently, I learn differently, and it happens to us. Even if we go through the same experience, we come out differently. Now,
Yes.
we are there cannot be another Monica, your with your body, your face, what with all your experiences in your family in this time ever again, from the beginning of time to the end of time. You are your only kind. When people tell me you're one in a million, I'm like, no, I am one of my kind. There cannot be
Period.
any other person like
Period.
me. Period. It's either you see people who look like me, or people who sound like me, or people who have similar passion, or who show similar enthusiasm. But to have another Jamila Idris in Nigeria sitting here right now doing this, never,
Never.
never. So I own my space, and I know that God created all of us with a solution to the problems of mankind. All of us, we have tiny bits of all of those solutions. So, me not living my purpose, I feel is a betrayal, or a breach of trust, because God entrusted this purpose. You're not doing it for yourself, you're
Hmm.
doing it for Him. That is your own power to create. That is your own power to create. Steve Jobs did what he was supposed to do by creating the iPhone, and then a lot of people are working on it and doing amazing things with it. We
Yes.
have Mark Zuckerberg, who is living his purpose by connecting people all over the world, and we have other people doing all of that. We have
Yes.
other people bringing together, other social media platforms, doing differently, doing amazing things.
Yes.
They are living in their space. They are doing what they need to do. They are bringing their solution, even though it's similar. But then, if you don't do it, nobody else will, because the way you will do it is different from the way
Different.
I will do it.
It's
Even if
different.
we read the same materials, even if we go through the same experiences,
It's
even if
different.
we're to say the same thing, I can't say it the way you say it. The enthusiasm I used to say it is different from the one you used to
Yes.
say it. You may say it, and it's going to some people would, gravitate towards you with the way you say it, and I say the same thing, and other people will gravitate. That is how it is. But then, because I don't know how we got it wrong, a friend of mine said it is the devil. It is the devil complex. When we feel I need to outdo this person, or
Right.
this person is stealing my shine. No, nobody can steal your shine. The only time another person can steal your shine is when you are not in your element, when you are not
Yes.
owning your
When
ground,
you're not in
when you
alignment.
when you are not in alignment with who
Yes.
God has created you to be.
Yes.
That is the only time somebody else can steal your shine.
Oh man. I love you, sis.
I love you too.
Yes, this is one of many more conversations that we will have. Thank you so much for your time, for your space, for your energy, for your passion, for the work that you're doing in Nigeria. Just know that the work is being done here as well and other places. And we need more women like ourselves to communicate, connect, and help each other um, be stronger and more powerful, because this work is extremely important. So thank you, and I honor you and I respect you for all that you're doing and just being alive and being in alignment with who you are. I honor that.
Thank you so very much. And
Absolutely.
thank you for this platform. Thank you for reaching out. And it's really amazing. It's really amazing. Thank you so very much. And I
You're
look
welcome.
forward to also doing more work with you.
Yes, yes, yes. It'll come very soon.
Yes.
Please tell people how they can find you and work with you.
Okay. I am more active on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Okay.
My Instagram handle is at I am Jamila Idris, at I am Jamila Idris. I don't know if I can. Okay, I can type it in the chat, right?
I should be able to pull it up right
I'll
now.
just type it in the chat.
Is this it?
So
Oh,
this
I
is
I
my
am. I am.
my Instagram handle.
Got it.
Yes, and this is for LinkedIn. I don't have my LinkedIn link right now. I would have pasted it, but then we are connections on.
Oh no 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 no! What happened? Oh, I might have lost her, but I got what she said. This is her Instagram. Please follow this sister. She was on fire. I don't know what happened to her. Yeah, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back.
Sorry,
Come back, sis. I don't know what happened.
I'm so sorry. So you have my we're connections on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
So I don't know, maybe you can share my profile with whoever wants it, and we can connect.
for sure, for sure. Thank you so much again for your time. And I'm gonna close out the
My
show.
pleasure.
I'll let you go about your business, but I'll connect with you in the WhatsApp group.
All right.
Thank you, sis. Peace and love.
And you too. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Thank you. Good evening. Man, oh man, I am so pumped up. I am so on fire. She was just saying everything that I be saying to y'all. So sometimes y'all need somebody else to say it from another country and another time zone just for you to respect it. So listen, I'm not the crazy one anymore. This is what you got to do. You got to take care of yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to be in alignment with who you are. Somebody hit me up yesterday. How do I deal with anxiety? Stop trying to be somebody else. You don't need no drugs. You don't need no pills. Stop trying to be somebody else. Turn off the TV and become one with yourself. Live your life. Live your life. Listen to your spirit, because your spirit will tell you everything you need to know, everything you need to do, and you gotta stop being hard headed to the spirit. Now, Please follow Jamila Idris, Instagram, LinkedIn, reach out to her. I'm sure she does international business. So if you want to work with her in Nigeria and you're in America, reach out to her. She will definitely get you together. And you know who we are, Young Boss Media, continuously bringing you great people that will inspire you, that also look like you and can relate to you and speak the same language as you. That's our purpose. And we want to bring you fly, educational content that will inspire you and make you feel cool. So if you like what we're doing, continue to follow us, Young Boss Media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. And if you want to be on the show, reach out to me, Monica Seckmack Grant. And we have a whole bunch of other shows. We have a financial show. We have a hip hop show. Every day of the week, we're creating original content that will uplift you, inspire you for by young entrepreneurs, but really just for our communities to be, uplifted. So I love y'all. Take care of yourselves. Stay cool. Peace.